Hey, what's up, you guys? It's your boy Ryan Morgan, dropping in with another episode of the Recovery Objects Podcast. On this podcast, I like to discuss certain topics focused on recovery. Some language or content might be violent in nature. I might say some things that you might not agree with, and that's okay. I will always come forth with non-judgment and integrity. I will always bring an authentic opinion. As a man in long-term recovery, I am dedicated to the process, and it's not my place to work anyone else's program than my own. I hope you understand this is not just a statewide issue. This is a worldwide issue. If we all can work together to fight these battles, we have enough energy to move mountains. I hope you enjoy the show as much as I did.
Yeah! Let's go, boy!
You are listening to the Recovery Objects Podcast, hosted by Ryan Morgan.
Hey guys, I wanted to get on the morning routine early on in my podcast journey because I think it's super important. It was really important early on in my recovery, and I hope I can help you find ways to make it easier on you in your recovery. There's no lie, if you organize your mind and your emotions, you can manifest anything that you want. We've seen so many teachings, seen so much content lately that has proven it time and time again. Every moment that your brain is changing directions, every 2 steps, you're going in a different direction. Your brain can't keep up. Every other day that you're switching up what you want in life or switching up what you need in life, it's really hard for you to connect with the universe to be able to grant those manifestations. The chance of you reaching your goal, honestly, is very slim. If you look at life right now, if all that you've ever wished for and hoped for would come to you at this moment, would you be responsible enough to handle all of it? Be careful what you wish for. We need to make sure that we are so aligned in so many different categories: physical action, emotional, mental action, energy action. Those are all controlled and used, or should be used, properly direct. Technology was a beautiful thing, but at what cost did it impact the community? What cost did it impact us as a whole? It was meant to assist us all. It's done nothing but hurt us. It adds to our social life. We're too empowered with technology. One man can destroy the planet right now with a single button, but yet we let so many other keyboard warriors destroy people's characters left and right. We see it constantly online. People are taking their pain out and making their internal pain external and taking it out on other people. What has brought us comfort for the last 100 plus years has also brought much pain. We are compulsive beings. We literally act compulsively. Have you ever noticed when you end up buying things, you have instant buyer's remorse, regret? Most big purchases, you wonder, why did I actually need that thing? Moving to an unconscious state of activity to a conscious state of activity is super crucial in your growth. I learned that very early on. I learned that faith only works for simple-minded people. God's not going to lift his finger for you, or whatever you feel is your God, whatever you consider your God. To me, God is the source of creation, all things living. Look at all this around you. Creator definitely has done a great job. If you always consistently are unhappy, maybe life is just not happening the way you want it to go. Maybe people just don't see you for who you really are. You have to take a look inside. You've got to take a look inside and realize what's important to you and what things need to change in your life. In the 12-step world, it's always people, places, and things. But then again, you still want to be living and you want to have a life, and you don't want to be so cautious of every place that you go. You want to have a strong backbone. You also want to have boundaries with people around you. Cutting out people is super important and building those boundaries, but you got to take a look inside. If life isn't going the way you want it to go, you are the only one that can make that decision. It's just an empty thought. Do you continue to believe what is possible is not possible? And is that creating negative action and thoughts inside your head? Are you telling yourself that you can't do things? Getting up in the morning, why do I have to do this again? Why do I always have to get up this early? You need to take a look at your inventory. Make sure that you list your inventory daily. What excites you, what you love, who you love, what things make you happy and what things don't make you happy, and what things to stay away from. You're using your past experiences in life as a basis for deciding whether something is possible or not possible. What has not happened until now can in fact happen, and we as humans are very capable of making those things happen. We put a man on the moon. We've done so many glorious things, and if your thought has not happened and you believe that your thought is never going to happen, well then it's never going to happen. What is possible and what is not possible is nature's business. It's not your business. You don't get to dictate what is possible and what's not possible for another person. You get to for yourself, but you don't get to for another person. What is it that you truly want? What attachments can you not let go of? Money, cars, clothes, houses? What is it that you think defines you? Does the big house make it better for you? The cars? Probably for a short period of time. Modern science is proving, though, that life is just reverberation of every vibration around us. People are using faith, though, to remove the negative thought. Your faith doesn't matter, though, because doubt is always there lingering. To me, commitment is key. If you commit to what it is you really truly want, then you're the only one that can step in the way of yourself. Do not let the thing in between your ears be the biggest problem that you have in front of you. There's no well-dones from the world. Your parents aren't going to tell you great job. There's no handouts. There's definitely no participation trophies. You have to dig deep every morning, trusting in your purpose, feeling your purpose, taking your inventory, dreaming, feeling, thinking about what it is that you want. It should consume you. It should overtake you. Every waking moment should be thinking about what it is that you want in your life. The connection of people and positive thoughts are super main ingredients. Commit to yourself. Commit to what you want in your life. If it's health, fitness, finance, family, your thoughts flow freely when you're thinking positively. Commit to being the person that you always wanted to be. Be specific, though. Make sure it is you tell the universe what it is exactly that you want out of life. What it is exactly that you think you need at that moment. My morning routines usually start up about around 5 a.m., 5:30, 6. When the kid's in school, it's obviously different because it's a Monday through Friday schedule. Lately, I've been waking up a lot more early, getting it in, getting my yoga in right when I wake up, then getting my walks in. I've always paid attention to monks' morning routines and how Buddhist monks go about their day, going about their morning, getting ready for their day. There is big trends, though, in productive morning routines right now. For me, it's not trendy. It's just a lifestyle. I had to make it my lifestyle. I think being behind bars put me on a disciplinary path. So let me help you give some tips to start your morning routine. Number 1, getting centered and reflect on death. Don't just jump out of bed. Before you get out of your bed, keep your eyes closed. Just turn away, close your eyes, breathe, be still. Just lay there for a minute. Your body's already been relaxed from the night before. Our minds tend to wander a bit. Leave out what your plans are for the day. Not worrying about what happened yesterday. It's already passed. There's nothing you can do about it. For now, just be still and quiet. Reflecting on death might seem just very morbid, but it's not. Don't judge it as positive or negative. Keep the mindset that today is not guaranteed. It is not promised. We lose a lot of people in our disease. Some of our diseases are self-inflicted. We do not know how long we are going to be here. We do not know how long we are going to live. Nobody will be able to prepare you for that. Having gratitude for the small things, though, knowing that today is just a brand new day, you can restart fresh. Everything in the past is gone. There's nothing you can do about it anymore. This time gives us time to think of more good, positive language to ourselves and others. When you're speaking to yourself in the morning, make sure you're always bringing yourself up. Make sure you're always being your biggest cheerleader. We can get complacent waking up at the same early time every day. You must keep it interesting. You must get up. For me, was walks. I now walk 4 miles a day. It's led to me losing over 200 pounds, but it's also led to me getting out and setting up my mindset for the entire day. I've raised a kid, a 5-year-old by myself, and how fortunate we are to be able to wake up and go and do these things. Get out and walk freely. Walk amongst the community. See how beautiful it is out in nature. Nature's huge for me in the mornings. Number 2, make your bed. This is a hard one for me. When I was locked up, it was a necessity in some of the blocks that you were at. You learn a lot about some of these people's character and their values. You see the way that they live in their rooms, and you see that the way their living space is. Don't make your bed just to make your bed. Use it as a discipline to train yourself. So after yoga, maybe bust out the bed, making it nice. Making your bed seems very insignificant, very important. These small things help you travel throughout your day. Get rid of the bad habits of lounging and sleeping past 9 a.m., noon. I don't know how many times I could tell you when I worked in a restaurant. It was appalling to me how the younger kids would tell me that they slept till 2 p.m., 3 p.m. They just roll into work right after that. I've never been able to do that. It's a discipline that's super necessary to learn. It's all you have to do when you're locked up, so your space and your rack better look really nice. They come around checking those in the morning. Morgan, check your bunk. Making sure that your bunk's all clean, making sure that your area looks nice and put together. If it's not, then it looks bad on you, and it shows a lot about your character as a man, especially in prison. Another tip to help you is chanting, meditation. I'm not a very big chanter. I am a fan of meditation. It's very hard to sit still for me. I have ADD, ADHD. I have had to train myself through yoga, though, to have patience, to sit with myself, with my thoughts, actually hear your thoughts, hear the positive thoughts come in, the negative thoughts go away. Bedtime is crucial. Getting to bed at a decent hour. Back in my old days, my crazy days, I would look at the clock at 3 a.m., 4 a.m. and know that it was time just to head home. I'm just waking up at those times now in my life. Meditation is available through so many different platforms, it's unreal. You don't need anything to meditate efficiently. You can flip on YouTube, you can flip on any kind of sounds, you could sit in pure silence. Give yourself those 10 minutes. I do my meditations a lot while I'm walking. I do meditations overnight. I do binaural beats overnight, certain transcendental sounds that help you meditate while you're sleeping. They've been pretty crucial to me. You have a chance at really restoring your tank for the day and setting a tone for your day. Your routine is all that matters. You will be so tired when you first begin, though, that you will have to renew this motivation. How many times do we run behind or really late? We get really behind and then it just throws off our entire day. I do this a lot. Like I said, I'm a single father with a 5-year-old. I also have a 2-year-old. And so it gets a little chaotic, and I don't drive, so imagine. It makes it super easy to get into conflicts because the tone has been set and grounding is in the rearview mirror. Slow down for just a moment. Stillness is the key to success. Stillness is the key to success. Being still, being quiet, hearing yourself is very important, even if it is for 8 minutes a day. Even if that's all you can get before you leave the house. We think we need to get up and go, get out the door as quick as we can. I like this tip. Do an act of generosity. Paying it forward became a fad. It's still around and quite rampant. It is a very generous offer, but makes self feel good. You feel good about the employee taking the order, though. Miserable. Send a text to a friend. Email a friend. Email somebody that wouldn't expect it. Sometimes I like to send off my friends in recovery and the recovery community to send off messages of hope to get them through their day. You never know what people might need it, what people might need to hear it. Send a voice clip if it's necessary. I like to send voice clips so it's a little bit more personalized. Donate to a charity. Donate to a cause. Donate to clean cause. Give up your time, energy to think of others. My life in the past, I would wake up, constantly think, me. What can I do for Ryan today? In my life today, I consistently wake up and think, what can I do for others? How can I help others today? What can I do to make somebody else's life better? What can I say to make somebody else's day better? What can I do as one man, as Ryan Morgan, to be able to make the people around me feel a sense of ease? Another good tip is do your rounds. Make sure to complete your tasks to keep your place clean, keep your area clean. This took me a long time. I was one of those teens that had his messy room, usually always had a messy space. By the vision of your space is what you're feeling internally. It's mindless activities though. So it's very simple. It just keeps us in the moment. Cleaning up, just cleaning up your shoes, socks, clothes that you might have left out, cups that you left down, making your area that you're saturating yourself in clean. Doing this activity will eliminate you from thinking. You can be in your thoughts for a moment, process your thoughts for a moment. I think preparing for your morning routine the night before is super crucial. Do not use dinner as your biggest meal. I've noticed now with my eating habits, eating a full nutritious meal early in the evening is what gets me through the night. I still am hungry throughout the night. Usually with water, I can clear that up pretty quickly. Your body is working overtime at this stage, though, while you're sleeping, and so the less to process, the better. Sleeping was one of my biggest changes. I slept with a ventilator to keep me breathing at night. I actually just sent it back a few days ago because of massive weight transformation. 200 plus pounds has fallen off my body. Most grown men aren't even 200 pounds. I would fall asleep so nicely, so peacefully, and being a single dad at that, it was hard to get a perfect night's rest. Especially if you're a protector like myself. I sometimes would wake up in the middle of the night, check my daughter for breathing, check my daughter for movement, and it would eliminate me from getting a good night's rest. Once I started all the weight gain, it also led to me having congestive heart failure and COPD. At nights, breathing was one of my biggest opportunities. Once I was put on the ventilator, it made it a lot easier. But sleeping with a machine wrapped around your face, a mask on, your kids scared to death of you every single night, it just wasn't exactly what I was expecting my life to be like at 32. So what's the purpose of your morning routine? Your morning should come from a place of productivity. It's not the proper way of waking up just to get up and go. You want to be still, let yourself think, using everything in your morning routine to train your mind. If your brain is well organized, then productivity will just come easier for you. Use your morning routine to fix old habits and build new ones. You know more about yourself than anyone else does. Do what works for you. If your morning routine is to get up, run, have a bite to eat, take a shower, cleanse yourself, get to it. If that's what's setting your day in a positive light, letting you lead with integrity, honesty, commitment, experiment with all these habits though. You should be thinking what is good and what is not good about your routine. You can find all the answers that you need remaining still, hearing yourself talk, hearing yourself think. People always say to me, I just don't really have time to do yoga. I just don't really have time to meditate. Many people will use excuses, and that's their route. That's not my route. I want to take a different path. I want a different route. I know what the old route led to and what it made my body feel like, what it made me feel like mentally. Some people regulate their emotions easily than others. Developing a foundation is key. It does take a long time, though, to get settled in. You can tweak it as you grow, though. The early stages of your morning routine have to be key. I've heard 21 days to make a habit, 66 days to make a habit. I just do it every damn day and don't think about it and try to get up every single time that I can, when I can, give myself grace. You're going to have to make time, just plain and simple. You're going to have to make time for you. Your kids will not understand how to regulate their emotions unless you provide them with a proper routine as well. So making sure that you're on a proper routine will assure that your kids will have a much better transition throughout their life. Don't let your kids suffer with no foundation. Don't let your kids suffer not knowing how to regulate or fix their emotions. Give your kids the emotional support that they need always. When you're sick and tired and your body shuts off, then you go have time to spend months in the hospital. When you're sick and tired and your body shuts off and you then have to make time, you'll go spend months in the hospital trying to make time. It is possible, trust me. I sat in a hospital bed for 2 months because I didn't feel like changing my behavior. I didn't think it was necessary, and my body definitely paid the price. Develop your routine first before you begin to hold your kids accountable. When I stayed in the hospital bed, that's when I was diagnosed with both chronic illnesses. It took me 2 months to get out. I sat in there for Christmas, I believe Thanksgiving as well, New Year's. Biggest thing that hurt me the most was to see my kid come in on Christmas Eve to come and open her presents. Thank God for my mother who brought her in and brought the gifts in and everything else. As a beach whale dad laying on the table, I was so disgusted at what position I had put myself in, what position I had put my child in, what position I had put my family in as well. And it made me reflect. It made me put in perspective what I have and where I'm at in my life. And as long as you're doing that, that's all that matters. As long as you're doing it one day at a time, living with integrity, living with responsibility, following through with what you say you're going to do, commitment to yourself, number one, but commitment to those that you say you love. Guys, thank you so much for your continued support. I really appreciate it. Let's continue this thing. Let's get out there and help people. Let's love each other. Let's go. Make sure to check out www.recoveryobjects.com for coaching today.
You are listening to the Recovery Objects Podcast, hosted by Ryan Morgan.
Thanks so much for joining the show, guys. Please go to cleancause.com. Use promo code CC Ryan Morgan. Over 9 flavors of organic, sparkling yerba mate with low or 0 calories, 160 milligrams of natural caffeine, and 50% of profits support individuals in recovery from alcohol and drug addiction.